Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading Carlos Santana, Sound of the Heart, Song of the World, written by Gary Golio and illustrated by Rudy Gutierrez. Juan de Navarro, Jalisco, Mexico. It's 1947 in a town with only dirt roads and mud houses. There are no electric lights, but electricity crackles in the air as a child is born. A little boy whose aunt calls him Cristalino, someone clear and bright, destined to make a mark in this world. The boy's name is Carlos Santana, and his mark will be made with lightning on the ears of the wind. Carlos is wrapped in music from the time he is born. His father, Jose, like the men in his family before him, can make magic with his fingers, lifting spirits with the power of song. When Papa plays the violin, even little Carlos can see how people's eyes light up, filled with el espíritu de la vida. Everyone wants Jose Santana to entertain them on their special days, and Carlos believes his father is an angel, flying on a bicycle with his golden harps as he rides to play in the church orchestra. Carlos loves Mama, but Papa is his one true hero. The fourth of six children, Carlos feels like Papa's favorite when he is taught to read music at age 5, just as his abuelo taught Papa. Maybe he will sit beside his father in the church orchestra and begin to grow his own wings. Someday he might even join Papa in playing mariachi songs that celebrate the people and tell their stories, making them laugh, cry, and feel alive. For now, it is enough that Carlos look, listen, and dream. Yet the world is less bright when Papa is gone, sometimes for months, earning money and lighting up the lives of other people with his music. Somewhere there is singing and dancing, but at home all is quiet, except for the songs of birds in the trees. With Papa away, Carlos wonders how he will ever learn to play music, to follow in his father's footsteps. Unsure that he even likes the violin, he still wants to please Papa and keep his dream alive. Truly, music is the sound of life, and Carlos feels its beat within his chest. When Carlos is 6, Papa leaves home again, this time for Tijuana, in northern Mexico. There, in a city crowded with American touristas and music clubs, Jose will find plenty of work to support his family. The decision affects everyone, though Carlos and Mama feel it the most. For Josefina, Jose's journey will lead her family to a land rich with freedom and opportunity. For Carlos, Papa being gone only makes it harder to believe in music and its angels. Money comes in the mail, but money cannot take the place of a father. Finally, after a year, Mama makes a decision of her own. She sells all of the furniture and pays for a cab driver to take her and the children more than 1,000 miles to Tijuana. 4 long days later, they arrive in the strange, noisy city, tired but hoping to find Papa and start a new life. Papa is surprised to see his family, happy, but also upset that his wife has disobeyed him. Lying on the floor of an unfinished hotel with no windows and no beds, Carlos tries hard to remember the father he knew, angel and hero, but can't forget his mother's tears. To earn a little money, he begins selling chewing gum out on the streets. This is his new life, like it or not. Carlos starts elementary school in Tijuana, where the Catholic nuns are strict and unsmiling. Still, there is a ray of light. Music classes after school and violin lessons with Papa, who begins teaching him about Mozart, mariachi, and the songs of Mexico. It is tough going at first. Carlos doesn't really like the violin, and the smell of the wood, held close to his face, gives him no pleasure. Papa is also very demanding, and sometimes Carlos is brought to tears. But he is also learning from his father what gives a musician his real strength. playing for each person, one to one, whether the audience is a small family or an entire town. The sound goes from heart to heart, from player to listener, with a promise of respect between the two. Without that, music is just empty notes. At 10, Carlos is now ready to play for turistas out on the streets of Tijuana. He dresses in a cowboy outfit and teams up with two other boys, but finds little joy in the music or the violin. Is he nothing more than a trained monkey, playing the same tired tunes day after day for a handful of coins? Listening to the radio one morning, Carlos is struck by a sound that hits him right in the chest. It's the sting of electric guitars that comes from American blues music and makes his ears sizzle. Names like Muddy Waters and B.B. King seem magical, their songs raw and honest. When he feels Carlos is ready, Papa brings him to the cantina where he and his band play mariachi. As father and son walk the dark streets together, the memory of electric guitars fills Carlos's mind. He wants his time with Papa to be like that, as fresh and exciting as American blues songs. But when the door opens, his dream goes up in smoke. The cantina is just a dingy cafe with a dirt floor, a stale smell, and tables black with cigarette ash. Holding his breath, Carlos pretends he is far, far away. For a while, Carlos plays with his father's band, but it does not go well. Each time he adds a few extra notes to spice up the melody, Papa shoots him an angry look. Mariachi is about the song and the singer, not the musician. Now it's Carlos who is angry. The blues songs he likes are about the musician's feelings too. The guitar speaks for them, with its own special voice, and Carlos wants to do the same with his violin. But as Papa reminds him, mariachi is not blues. One night at the cantina, Carlos is sickened by what he sees. Men yelling at his father to play the same song over and over. They talk and laugh and show no respect. Though Carlos knows how much Papa needs the money, he still feels ashamed. He tells his father he's had enough and that when I grow up, I'm going to play what I want to play. Then, quietly, Papa tells his son to go home. Carlos's nights in the cantina are over. Back on the Avenida Revolucion with his violin, Carlos is miserable. And the more he hears American blues music, the more blue he becomes. Now he can barely stand to hold the violin near his face. When Papa leaves for the U.S. for work in San Francisco, Carlos is secretly glad, for at least his lessons will end. Mama, worried about her son, takes him to an outdoor concert in the town square. It's a local band, the TJs, playing the rhythm and blues that Carlos loves. As he listens to the guitarist send electric notes flying through the air, the sounds make his heart race. Carlos feels like Muddy Waters and B.B. King are calling out to him. After the concert, Mamma sees her son full of life once more. She writes to Papa that Carlos has got the music bug again. Grateful for this news, Papa buys a used electric guitar and sends it home. When the package arrives, Carlos is stunned. There will be no turning back. Now he can start to play the song inside him, the one that has been there all along. It will be his song, about his life, played on his guitar, and it will lift the spirits of all who hear it, bringing magic to their lives. But what of the mariachi and all that Carlos has learned from Papa? Those songs are all still inside him. Even when he plays American blues music on the guitar, the feel and sounds of Mexico cannot be left behind. If Carlos can bring these two different worlds together, perhaps he can make a kind of music that has never been heard before. Not so many years later, after moving to the United States himself, young Carlos Santana will create a new flavor of rock and roll, charged with Latin passion and the raw honesty of American blues. Spreading out to the world, it will be music played one to one, player to listener, with the feeling and respect it deserves, just as Papa said it should. And perhaps most importantly, it will be music played to the beat of Carlos's own heart. The end. Thank you all for listening.